With Halloween being right around the corner, I feel it's only right I cover some of my favorite Final Fantasy content in the spooky, scary criteria. I think horror movies and horror games are some of my favorite form of media. I mean, I say that like I've played mad scary games, but I do like scary movies, and Final Fantasy is my favorite series to an extent. But regardless, I feel it makes sense to, make a video like this. Some of my favorite scary games are like Outlast, Amnesia, hell. Even if you consider Danganronpa scary, I would add that too, because, whatever. Besides, like I said, Final Fantasy is my favorite franchise. And let's go over some of my favorite scary, creepy moments that, make sense because it's Halloween. In Final Fantasy VII Remake, you fight a remastered version of, like, the fucking house. You know that random encounter you fight? It's kind of like in the underpass area. I forget what the area is called. You basically fight the Hell House in 7 Remake at the end of the Corneo Coliseum. And this is where most people basically tap out in terms of like a hard mode playthrough, because the shit is so hard, like most people have a really hard time beating it. If it wasn't for Blitz on YouTube, shout out to my guy, you know what I'm saying, 100k on YouTube, follow him. I mean, I probably wouldn't have been able to beat the damn Hell House to begin with on normal. So yeah, the Hell House is very, very scary. Look at this. One of the scariest things I've ever seen. It's a house. It's an animatronic. It's something. I feel like we should switch to another game, but since we're on the topic of Final Fantasy VII, it's only right we bring up the main antagonist herself, Genova. I'm not gonna lie, Genova's a little, don't worry about it, but, and the fact that she's from outer space is definitely scary. Katy Perry was spitting when it comes to E.T., and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Alright, one more from Final Fantasy VII. I know this is the only Final Fantasy game you guys played, but regardless, it has one of my favorite protagonists, or I guess playable characters. I don't know what you call it. I guess party members? You guys know who I'm talking about. Vincent Valentine. Like, look at him, bro. Drip galore. He invented drip. Like, come on. He's a whole vampire. Look at the cape. If you've seen the Advent Children movie, you know how cool he is. He's very important to the plot of Final Fantasy VII. And besides that, like, look at him, bro. He's a whole vampire. Like, Dracula could never. You basically meet Vincent at the bottom of the Nibelheim mansion in a coffin. And in order to get to him, you have to put in a code. So, you can call him Emo what you want. But the fact that he can transform into different monsters for his limit break as you level it up. Like the final one you get, which is, I guess, Satan? I forget what it's called. Chaos? That shit is pretty cool. And he has his own game. He has a really interesting backstory too. Like if you played the Dirge of Cerberus game, or at least watched the cutscenes, you kind of get where he comes from when it comes to getting cucked and, having his family, or I guess his father, do experiments on him. Shit like that, you're like, damn. And his whole like love triangle with Hojo is very crazy. He kind of blames himself for Lucretia's passing and still going through with having Sephiroth as her fucking child. So yeah, he's definitely been through it. If you're afraid of clowns, then I suppose it would make sense to see Kefka in this video. Like, Kefka's a pretty goofy guy. He's not that scary. I mean, if you consider his final boss form being scary, I guess that's it. Like, I don't know. I don't really consider him to be scary, but I'm not afraid of clowns. So that's just that, I guess. It would only make sense to bring him up when it comes to scary Halloween-themed shit in Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VIII has to be one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, and there's a shot in Final Fantasy VIII that's very fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna really get too much into spoilers because I want some of my friends to play Final Fantasy VIII, but like, bro, look at this. This right here is nightmare fuel. Like, I remember playing the game for the first time and seeing this and being like, holy fuck. Like, this image triggers me. It really does. There's more moments in Final Fantasy that probably are more scary to begin with, but these are some of my favorite moments. And if you guys have some of your own, let me know in the comments, we can talk about it. I remember when you get towards the end of the game in Final Fantasy 15, like, Noctis is like hallucinating. It gets really weird, especially with like all the human experimentation and shit that goes on that you find out about, like Arden and shit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Halloween's coming up. I want to do more Halloween themed videos, so I guess enjoy your month. Happy October, and I will see you guys later. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.